Hi, I'm Danette, and I just want to share with you what a destructive tendency anger can be and what it was in my life. If you'd asked me as a teenager if I had an anger issue, I wouldn't have even known what you were talking about, because I grew up with an angry, alcoholic mom who was pretty abusive physically and emotionally. In fact, one time I remember I was little and I said something like, "I don't like this blouse I'm wearing." And she picked me up by the throat with one hand and held me over her head, and she threatened me if I ever complained about anything again, she'd kill me. And she was at work. My brother and I were latchkey kids, and he was always frightening me, beating me, shoving me in a hamper and sitting on it and holding me captive in some other kind of way. So my life felt like a horror movie sometimes, because I never knew who was going to fly off the handle, and it didn't take much. So as far as I was concerned, I was a frightened little girl. I wasn't an angry kid. I'd never really caused problems. I hadn't gotten in a lot of fights at school. I lied a lot, I stole a lot, I started drinking and smoking, but I wouldn't have been categorized as an angry kid. But when I got in the Air Force, that's when it came out. And it was like I'd been this smoldering volcano just waiting to blow. And I didn't even realize it. And I would blow up sometimes. Often incidents would trigger it, and I'd get so angry and so enraged. And I wouldn't hurt a person, at least not physically, but I would destroy things. One time, I was at tech school in the Air Force at my training base, and there were these big day rooms. And I don't know what triggered this episode, but one day I just went in one of the day rooms, I left the lights off, and I just went off. I just exploded and started flinging this furniture around. Our squadron commander, he confronted me and said, "Airman, someone saw someone tearing up the day room, and they think they can identify them." And my eyes got real big. "Yes, sir." And he said, "I hope I don't find out that it was you." You know, I don't know why he let me off the hook, but that was my first clue that I think I have an anger problem. But I didn't get it. I didn't have a good example of how to handle anger. I got stationed overseas, and I went on and did some stupid stuff, some really self-destructive things that I regretted later. So by the time I got stationed back in the States, I was one angry chick. I got involved in this church, and there were these Christians who just looked past my anger and my bad attitude, which is what Jesus does. And these Christians, they just showed me what it looked like to live for Jesus and to love Jesus and to allow Jesus to love me. You don't want to know what freedom is. It's when you have the power to get angry and you don't. Because instead of letting your past dictate your actions and your attitudes, you allow Jesus to. And does that mean I don't get angry anymore? No, I still do. We're allowed to feel. We're made in God's image. We're emotional beings. So yeah, some stuff still ticks me off and I still feel anger, but it no longer has control over me. So even though anger was a destructive tendency in my life, because of what Jesus did, He healed me. He healed me of those childhood wounds so that I didn't have to have revenge and I didn't have to stay angry. And He helped me to not allow anger to control me.